I'm Jennifer with Minding Your Matters, and today we're in my pantry, which desperately needs to be reorganized. Janice likes to talk about situational disorganization, and one instance of that is I have a toddler, and because of that I've had to move some things into the pantry that used to stay outside of it. And on top of that, it's time to clean it out and pull all the things off the shelves and do a big, clean up and start over. So that's what we're going to do today. So as you can see, I have a lot of pantry space, but I also don't have a ton of cupboard space, so I end up with a lot of dishes in here that maybe I'd prefer to put elsewhere. But this is kind of the before, and it doesn't look that disorganized maybe to some people, but for me it's been kind of bothering me. And you can always see I got a head start. I went ahead and bought this item to help organize these boxes because that was just driving me crazy. So let me get going and I'll show you the after when it's all done. Okay, so one of my first steps with organizing the pantry is to take everything off the shelves so that I can clean the shelf. That's obviously a pretty good thing to do while you're in the middle of this project. And as you can see, I've emptied one of the shelves. I've got all this stuff on my counter. And one thing I can already tell is that I have too many spaghetti sauce jars. Now, I don't know about you, I find these really handy for a lot of things, but I'm not going to stop buying jarred spaghetti sauce anytime soon, so I realize I need to get rid of a couple of these. But we had a bug problem for a while, which is a little bit embarrassing to admit, but it does happen in your house occasionally. And so my solution for that was to come up with this bin where I could keep some things and hopefully keep some of the bugs out of there. And it works really well. But this bin became a catch-all. It's so easy with bins to just throw whatever in there. And the point of a container is to make sure you have a category, and that way you know exactly what's in there without having to look. Now this bin is clear, so I can kind of see, but especially since it's on the top shelf, it's just really helpful to know, hey, that's pie plates. Because it is on the top shelf, I put pie plates in there. That's something I only use pretty much once a year, and that way they're kind of kept out of the way. So here's something while you're going through your pantry and cleaning out, it's good to check the expiration dates on all your products. I have no idea how long this cornstarch has been in there. I can tell you I don't cook with cornstarch too often. Obviously, if you bake a lot and use, it's a thickener, but I can't tell you the last time I used it, and I cannot find a date, so I think it's probably time to let this one go. So we're making lots of progress. I'm taking things off each shelf, one shelf at a time, just because I don't have a ton of counter space, so that way I can pull everything off, clean the shelf, and then put things back. Now, if your pantry is really disorganized, you might want to time out and think about exactly where you want to put things. I kind of have a system I like. It just needed to be straightened up a bit. One important note is I did buy a basket. I wanted to do this so that I could take full advantage of the depth of these shelves, and bring some things forward without having to worry about things falling off. And it's great for loose items. But I'm really glad I took the tape measure out and checked the shelf before I left the house, because I did see some great shelves at Target I loved, or baskets, excuse me, but I didn't buy them because I wasn't sure, and I'm glad I didn't. It turns out they were too long to put this direction. Now, of course, I could have put them sideways, and that would have been fine, but I really wanted to make sure I was bringing some things forward. So it's always a good idea to use a tape measure and double check. Okay, so here's my completed pantry. Again, I pretty much just took everything off the shelves, wiped all the shelves down, and then put everything back in a more orderly fashion, taking the time as I went to throw some things out or recycle whatever, move some things to a new home. You can see it's not perfect, it doesn't look like a magazine, but the point is when I go into my pantry, it looks okay and I can find what I need when I need it, which is pretty much the whole point of organization. I hope this has helped. If you ever have any questions about getting organized in your home, feel free to give Minding Your Matters a call.